to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at our waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn your hips and waist. 9. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bend at your hips and waist. 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight. Kick your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet. Choose one side, cross and sit on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift your weight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. Let's practice our good golden cockerel, okay? First, dropping your shoulders, tucking your butt in, hollowing out your chest, chin slightly down, glance way ahead, head straight up. You're evenly distributed at this point. You're going to be a golden cockerel standing on its left. Therefore, the weight gets heavier on the left, up, center, counterbalance, golden cockerel. Okay, do it at your own pace, shift weight. Last set. Center, counterbalance, shift weight, center, counterbalance. Okay? Make sure now the hand that sits to the side, sits to the side, sits to the side, not sit, sits to the side, but not sits to the back. You don't want that. Now, okay, can we try that? Either side, two times. Sits to the side. Down, sits to the side. Now show me what is sits to the side. Show me what sits to the side. Okay, show me what sits to the back. You see what happens when you swing back? You're tightening up your shoulder and you're out of Tai Chi posture. Remember, the first element was to drop your shoulder? Well, if you do it this way, your shoulders come up. So you want to make sure that it sits to the side. Once it sits to the back, you tighten up. So you throw your Tai Chi posture off. So some small elements like that we need to be aware of. All right, kicking out now. When we kick out, we remember that our span is wider. You cannot kick out and start when your feet are together. So when they're apart, you're going to shift your weight to the left, and your right hand comes up at the same time the right foot comes up, and this is called a counterbalance, whereas this is incorrect because the hands are in the same direction. Okay, let's try that. Feet apart, good Tai Chi posture. We're going to be kicking out with our right. We're at 50-50. We're going to shift our weight to the left, right hand on the outside, right foot coming up, kicking out. Left hand, left foot. Last set. Okay. Next, we're going to do our T stance, L stance, bow stance without our hands, okay? Making sure that we're checking our feet alignment first. Hands at your waist, good Tai Chi posture. T stance. Weight down on the right or back foot. Therefore, the knee of the right knee is flexed, okay, because it's bearing all your weight. Show me that your left foot is ready to go by lifting up, showing me that it can be weightless. We're taking a T stance. After that is an L stance out into the side. The energy generates from our back foot across our chest and waist, flattens down to a bow stance. Sit back, sit down on that imaginary stool, pivot, parallel or on the line, T stance, out and to the side, L stance, turn the hips and waist, bow stance, bow and arrow, knees not beyond your toes. Sit back, sit down, pivot, firm down, T stance, L stance, turn the hips and waist, generate that energy, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot, firm down, T stance, out and to the side, L stance, turn the hips and waist, move that energy, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot, T stance. Okay, so everybody needs a little bit more improvement. So point your finger up. This is you and your spine and your head. You are always in good Tai Chi posture by being straight up. When you advance forward, you move. When you advance sideways, you move. But all the time, this body or this cable or this rod or this silk silver thread is always straight up. So if that is true, what is wrong when I do this? Is that straight up? Obviously no. So what are you going to do? You're going to have to sit back up. Sit back up. So that's a good way of testing whether you are in good Tai Chi posture. And the reason why we are so adamant about this is because why? We're here to learn to fall. We're here to learn to prevent falling, okay? So you want to make sure that something basic as that, you don't want to pass it over and do something and practice it wrong, okay? All right. Now, with that feet work, we need to be clear and hold our ball. Show me how you hold your ball. Any way, any top, any bottom. So I'm looking at you and it's so far so good. The top hand is at chest level. The bottom hand is at 2 inches below your navel, which is the danten area, centering yourself. Therefore, your ball cannot reach forward, because if it does, what happens to that cable? It follows you forward. So you want to keep that straight up, but at the same time, dropping those shoulders, okay? All right, so we're holding our ball, left hand on the bottom, because our left foot is ready to go. Our right hand is at chest level. We're weighted down or rooted down on our back foot. Here we go. Out on an L, move that ball, generate that energy, part the wild horse's mane, stretch. Sit back, sit down, pivot, ball for better balance, left on the top, right on the bottom. Bring it in, out and to the side, L, move that energy. Watch your cable. Are you stretched too far? If so, adjust. Sit back, sit down, pivot, firm down, ball for better balance, bring it in, out on an L, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane. Check your cable. Sit back, sit down, pivot, firm down, hold your ball, bring it in, out into an L, bow stance. What is your, sit back, sit down, what is your hand that sits to the side? What is it doing? Is it going to sleep? Remember I said to keep it cocked? It's helping you with balance. But it's not going to help you with balance if it's not cocked and going to sleep. Watch that back hand out and to the side, not to the back, and cock it. Sit back, sit down, one really good set now, perfect. Hold your ball firm down, out on an L, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane, make sure you have your cable, make sure you have your stretch with your side hand cocked rather than sleeping. Sit back, sit down, pivot, hold your ball on a T, out on an L, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane. Do you have your bow and arrow? Is your left hand conked? Is your knee not beyond your toes? Okay, so that's a lot of examining and evaluating for your own. And sometimes we say, no, all the questions I give you, you say, it's not me, it's not me. But when I look at you, it is you, okay? So what's happening is that you are processing everything correctly in your mind, but for some reason, the physical stuff doesn't match up to what your mind is saying. All right, so let me do some things that are wrong and see if you can identify with it, okay? It's your call, okay? Maybe I should do it this way, because then you can see my backhand, okay? Real fast. These are wrong movements, and if you can tell me why they're wrong, more than likely you can correct it by yourself. For one thing, my knee is way beyond my toe, therefore my head is so heavy that I'll fall. This hand, the backhand, has gone to sleep. It forgot about what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to sit to the side, not in the back. It's supposed to stay awake by keeping its hand held here so that it's holding a ball. It can't hold the ball like this, and neither can it hold the ball on the top like this. So the imagery here is the backhand always, do it with me, holds the ball from the top to the side rather than in the back. Can you show me what I mean? To the side. Okay, and then make sure that the ball is round, so you're going to grip it. You only have one hand gripping that ball, therefore the fingers should be a little curved, right? Okay. Check themselves. Oh, so Ken's saying you all have mirrors at home. Maybe just watch yourself in a mirror. Okay, so you can see what each hand, what each foot, what your body doing. So you be your own test, okay, own tester or own investigator. All right. We also covered, and we'll go over again, 2 movements of Yang 10 form. We know it's commencing form and repulsing of the monkey, okay? Without any words, let's just refresh our memory by doing it with me, okay? And then we'll go over it. So good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, feet apart slightly. Oh, I'm going to bring it in a little bit, okay? Commencing form. Okay, so you're going to continue what you're doing. I'm just going to turn around, okay? But you keep the same side that you are doing, which is the opposite of mine. Last one. Okay. All right, now we'll put words to it and we'll try to see whether, check what our movements were really supposed to be all about. So when we commence, we know that we are evenly and while I'm telling you, you can test it out on yourselves. We know we have good Tai Chi posture. We know that we can grow a little taller. However our Tai Chi posture is, you need to grow a little taller, okay? Grow a little taller. Usually for me that means making sure that my Muscles in the back are engaged. I can feel it kind of maybe tightening up, but letting me know that they're working for me, okay? When we commence, we're at 50-50. We slowly drain the weight off of our left foot so that allow our left heel to rise on our sole, on our toe, 100% off the ground, open, toe, arch, heel, 50-50. Hands rotate to the middle of our thighs as we take a deep breath in and elevate using our central area at shoulder level. Our hands go for the ride. We drop our shoulders, drop our elbows, drop our wrists. Flex our knees. The left hand stays in the center. Right hand rises up to the side. We open both palms to the ceiling as we glance at our back hand. We bring the back hand closer to our ear. We turn our face. We acknowledge the middle. We slide forward. We slide back. What we do on one side, we do on the other. Center, up higher, glance. Bring it closer to your ear. Turn your neck and face. Acknowledge that center, repulsing of the monkey. Continue. Center, up higher, glance, rise, open. Bring it to the ear. Acknowledge that center. Slide forward, slide back. Center, glance higher, open, ear, turn, acknowledge the middle, slide. One more. Center, higher, glance, turn, meet, slide. Center, higher, open, ear, turn, meet, slide. Follow, T, parallel and higher. Don't worry, we're going to learn it. Out on an L, move that hand, brush your knee. Is it to the side or is it to the back? Sleeping. Sit back, sit down, pivot, firm down, parallel higher, ear, L, turn hips and waist, brush your knee. Is your knee not beyond your toe? Is your right hand to the side of you, holding that ball from the top, not sleeping? Sit back, sit down, pivot, hold your ball. Okay. So sometimes when we dwell on movements or elements of movements, we get it, and after a while it starts to turn sour because we're like too full of it, too full of the details, so we have to move away. So we're not saying that we're going to work on the third movement just because you know 1 and 2 correctly, okay? But we know that we have some idea that what it's all about. But we're going to learn something new today. I like to call it a multitasking movement because there's several things that go on at the same time. And one thing is that we're parallel higher, we're turning our hips and waist, and we're brushing our knee. So the knee now is way down here. We don't have to brush it this way, but we do brush it in a creative, imaginary way like this. For those of you who can see already that there's something more that I'm doing, I set up my hands, I turn my hips and waist, and the hands go for the ride. I set up my hands, I have my energy stored in the back, I come out on an L. This is a multitasking, so many things are happening. The hand comes to the ear, the hand here comes, the parallel hand comes down, and the heel comes up. But the energy is still stored on my back. The energy is something everybody has, an internal energy. And what we do in Tai Chi is try to activate it, move it, so that it's efficiently helping us, rather than getting locked in or making our movements not natural. So here's the beginning motion, okay? And then I said that energy is back there, so we're going to have to set up our hand, turn our hips and waist, and this is what happens. If I'm a beginner, and most of you are, I might say, what's the problem? I got here in the end, but how did you get there? Most of us in the beginning will say, it's easy, it's just a hand motion. Look where my hips are, they're contorted. I didn't use my body, my central core, to make my movements happen. I'll do it again. We know we want to get out there and catch that ball, and we want to sit our hand to the side. So therefore, everybody's placing their emphasis on where to be at the end. Can you see that this is not proper alignment? If I continue to do it and call it Tai Chi, I would probably quit very fast. It's not natural. So when we warm up and do our warm-up exercise, especially this one where we're looking at the heel of the back of opposite foot, it's giving us that prepping that we need for Tai Chi. Okay, so let's try what we just heard, okay, and saw. Parallel and higher on a T. Root it down because you want to have all that energy working for you. Out on an L, move that hand, move that foot, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, that's your energy foot. Parallel higher on a T, glancing at it. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, parallel higher on a T, root down for that firmness in your energy, out on an L, move the energy, turn the hips and waist, catch that ball in the center. Don't let the back hand, the side hand go to sleep. Sit back, sit down, pivot, parallel higher on a T, firm down, that's the energy foot. Ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, T stance, parallel higher, glance, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Last one, sit back, sit down, pivot, parallel higher on a T, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Now ask yourself, remember that finger, the pointing finger where we showed ourselves how our body is? Can you see that your body is in that proper position and not leaning forward? Sit back, sit down, test it again. It's always easy to do it in this formation, right? But all the time we have to incorporate that finger and not let it go down.